The Trump legacy is systematically being destroyed. If a couple of key things keep happening and play out as they are currently playing out, Trump will be impeached before the end of his term. How? So let's get into it. So, what am I talking about? First is quite obvious, the Epstein files, the absolute debacle that is the DOJ, FBI, etc., Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, Cash Patel, and company. They aren't working alone, that's for sure. But, so if the Epstein file thing isn't gotten ahead of, that is one nail in the coffin. That is a big, big albatross around President Trump's neck. I think that if he doesn't nip this in the bud, fire Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, and Dan Bongino, it's going to swing people a lot. I know for a fact that there's many people that are like, screw it, I'll just vote for a Democrat. So, second thing that is probably, in my opinion, arguably 10 times bigger than the Epstein files, that is this ridiculous talk over amnesty for illegal labor and illegal immigrants on farms and hotels and things like that. I don't care if you've been here for 100 years. If you're here illegally, get the fuck out of my country. I don't want you here. Come back legal. There's a perfectly reasonable way to go to come back into this country. Get out, put in your papers, get your green card, wait your turn, just like everybody else. Okay? So Trump is looking for an amnesty carve out for farm workers, etc. That, I believe, between that and the Epstein files, if the being the government continues along this path, and the amnesty is granted, and the Trump doesn't do anything about Pam Bondi or the Epstein files, and Trump will lose, or rather the Republicans will lose the House and the Senate, and Trump will be impeached before the end of his term. Mark my words. Trump will go down, instead of being one of the greatest presidents in history, he'll go down like Ulysses S. Grant. Okay? For a little bit of history lesson for you, Ulysses S. Grant was a much maligned, still to this day, he's not thought very highly of because of the deep state. Okay, Ulysses S. Grant was fighting the deep state in his day. Okay, and he darn near got it done, but the deep state's gone deep state, and they called him what's that? Useless Grant, right? That was his thing, and big smear campaign. Served his one term, and then he was gone because he was doing in his day what Trump is trying to do in this day. So same actors, same people behind the scenes, same energy, I should say. But if Trump doesn't want to go down as a feckless, useless president who didn't deliver on his promised us mass deportations, carving out amnesty and granting, I don't know, stays or temporary. No, I don't want illegals here. Full stop. End of story. That's just the way it is. And there's not a lot of wiggle room around that. I voted for Trump on that, and that that was like one of the key things that most people voted for, because they see the impact of this. They're like, oh, well, what about my farmers and my slave labor, right? I mean, the the talk is that they would be letting the farmers or the the owners of the establishments, whatever. In the case of hotels, the owner of the hotel chain or whatever, or the farm, they would be giving the workers their ability to stay here. In my opinion, that sounds awfully close to government-sanctioned indentured servitude, right? Think serfs in the Middle Ages in England, right? Serf was granted rights to live and work on the landlord's land, but they didn't own it. They were simply working the land and on behalf of their lord. This is basically just the same thing. It's just a modern day version of serfdom. And granting farmers the ability to hand out visas or work stays or whatever you want to call it, you're just making them into lords, really. Here, little serf, pick my crops, serve in my hotels. The difference is a citizen living here legally is working there. It's a completely different story, right? Where if you are working at a place, sure, you could get fired, but that's not a big deal. Whereas if you are an illegal immigrant, you are there at the goodwill and grace of the owner of the establishment. If he gets tired of you, if he pisses you off, guess what? Ice, ice, baby, and away you go to Ecuador or Guatemala or Cuba or wherever the hell you came from. Right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You piss him off, he sends your ass packing back to wherever you came from. That is more like serfdom. So I think Trump needs to get ahead of this one. Otherwise, he's going to destroy his legacy. And he's just going to destroy the U.S. because tons of people will vote for the Democrats in the midterms, and he will be impeached. If these two things aren't gotten ahead of, Trump will lose the midterms, lose the House, lose the Senate, and he will be impeached before the quarter has gone past the midterms, and he will be ousted. Just the way it is. So I hope it doesn't happen. I hope Trump is as smart as everybody says he is, and that he actually listens to the rank and file and not the deep state Neanderthals chirping in his ear. So we'll see. Anyway, that's my take on it. That's it. That's all. There is no more.